Welcome back. Welcome into the Lion's Share podcast, episode 25, quarter of the way to triple digits. I've been just really busy lately, so I just want to apologize for my lack of knowledge. But, Andrew, was there a game on Monday night? What was the Monday night football game?
Monday. Was it the Commanders versus the Eagles?
Oh, who won that game?
I fell asleep at halftime, but if memory serves correct, it would be the Commanders.
Oh, shucks. I had picked that, and I believe you said Eagles by at least 2 scores. I even went on I presented a thesis and a hypothesis towards this, and you said, that's great, sounds good, still going to Eagles. So I just have to, I've been trying to stay humble, and I'm ripping off the humble hide right now. I'm basking in it right now.
You sound like you're smelling your own farts over there.
Which I do often.
Good call by you. It's an astounding call. I chose to get off the Eagles wagon 1 week too late. Wow, what a pick by you. What was the final? 32-21 Commanders over Eagles?
Yeah, they got the score late to make it even look better in the box score. So you could say the Commanders won it in a commanding fashion.
Take it easy.
Don't let me get hot, man. We totally forgot to talk about the Colts Raiders in Sunday's episode as well. I just glossed right over that, bad producer over here. But while I'm on my high horse, I also picked the Colts over the Raiders, which many were saying wasn't a good idea. And I also had the Packers over the Cowboys. If I would have parlayed Commanders, Colts, Packers, I might have been able to retire.
I mourn for the loss of your early retirement, and I'm just kind of wondering now, if you had such a good week, how did my week turn out?
Well, so that's where it gets confusing. My numbers don't say it all. I was 7-7. So overall, a very average week. 7-7 is actually below average for me.
You took a play out of my book.
Yeah, I did, but you were 5-9, so it was
Yikes.
The mean has reverted back the other way. And yeah, I am now sitting at, please hold. I am now 78-56, and you're 65-69. Nice. So
I can smell 4 victories this week.
So yeah, I did well on the crazy picks that I did have, but overall not as great. But who wants to talk about that one? You can talk about how great my pick over the Eagles was. Gonna try to continue that this week. We'll get to that in our NFL picks in a fun segment where we do a little bit of trivia. So that'll be fun. And of course, we'll talk about the Lions and wrap it up with college football and the BS that we always will bring you here on these airwaves between our dulcet tones. And it's funny about real quick about the Commanders. I was going to text you at halftime. Didn't want to jinx it. Commanders were up at half. Didn't want to jinx it like you did with the Texans text last week when it was a tie game at half. So I stayed humble. But at the end, I had to unleash the beast that was inside of me. Felt pretty good about that one. I got to give you a little bit of credit for the assist on that call, though, because you went out there, you put yourself on that plank last week by taking the Texans over the Eagles. Gave me a little bit of encouragement to go Commanders over the Eagles this week. So thank you.
Yes. Anything I can do for the team, I'm here. Team guy.
It's a team. We, not me.
Yeah, if that's what the kids are saying.
All it takes, everything it takes.
Yeah. Everything you got.
You got anything to say about Jeff Saturday and the Colts? Did you see how much flack he was getting?
I saw how much flack Irsay was getting for the hire. Hey, look, man. Just give him the 8 week or 7, 8 weeks. Let him go out there. He may be a good coach. He might be a terrible coach. But you got to give him the shot. That was almost verbatim his words at the
Yeah.
podium in his first press conference. And I mean, hey, we said it. You had to beat the Raiders. If you're gonna tell them on Twitter that they look like garbage, then you got to beat them. And I mean, the Raiders got to be worried. I don't know if they can financially recover if they fire Josh McDaniels.
Right. Because where do you go from there? You had a opportunity to stay with. Help me out here with his name. Who was the interim that filled in for Gruden last year? He had a weird Visikia. Yeah, it felt like, he had a decent chance to be the head coach after what he did with the team last year. That was, a drama-filled year for the Raiders, and what he did with that team, all things considered. And then you go out and get Josh McDaniels when you may have had the guy right there in your lap.
Yeah, and I actually forgot about the whole Josh McDaniels and the Colts thing.
Yeah. It's like I said last week. Some people are just not cut out to be head coach. They're just a coordinator for life. He's a coordinator for life.
He was a good coordinator.
He's a great coordinator. He just can't be the head guy. Or at
maybe
least
it's Derek Carr.
Maybe it's Maybelline, but I don't think Derek Carr is going to be a Hall of Famer or anything by any means. But I think he's more than serviceable. That's a good team. You got Devontae Adams. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I can't even pretend to argue this.
A Basikia-led Raiders team would have at least be hovering around 500 right now. I'd say that.
Yeah.
I'd say that for sure. I mean, I don't think he'd be leading them to an undefeated season, but they'd have more than 2 wins. They'd be better than
they'd look like they gave a shit too.
Yeah, no, this team just looks defeated internally and externally.
I mean, you saw it with the Devontae pushing the camera guy or the sound guy.
Yeah.
You're getting frustrated, man.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't win.
And if anybody knows what it's like to lose repeatedly, year over year, it's Lions fans.
Yeah. None other than no one better to have that judgment than us. But the Lions are on a 2-game winning streak. So I thought last week, not a perfect game, not clean. We talked a lot about it on Sunday. But somewhat of a proving game in that we know the Lions can win the games they play perfect in, right? They've got they put up many, many, many points with this offense this year. They've struggled on the defensive side of the ball, right? But we've seen them play some really good games, and this was not a really good game played by them. They did enough and they got the win. So I thought it was kind of proving that they won a game where they weren't at their best, and they did that by the 2 big things that we talked about: no turnovers and I shouldn't say no penalties, but only 2 penalties. Mistake-free football. When both teams were putting up points last week, the one slip up the Bears had was the pick 6, and so by virtue of that, I took some time to reflect on it, and I thought I'd have to say that where still a long ways to go with this team, but nice to see that they can actually win some games when they're not at their absolute best on one side of the ball.
I absolutely right with you. I think one thing we have to add to that list of things we want to see: defensive turnovers. I mean, you've got to have turnovers. You've got to have at least one a game. That's those momentum swings that we talk about, and that's easy generation of it. I got to see that every game from this defense.
Absolutely. Aaron Glenn, if he wants to stick around, he's had a nice little midseason turnaround here. He's doing things. He's righting the ships a little bit. We'll see what he does on the remaining 8 games. Speaking of the remaining 8 games, we're talking Lions playoffs here. I'm going to hit you with the scenario that I sent you over the text message machine. So 8 remaining games for the Lions. They've got the Giants this week, the Bills, Jaguars, Vikings, Jets, Panthers, Bears, Packers. If the Lions beat the Giants, they lose to the Bills, they beat the Jags, they lose to the Vikings and the Jets, but then they win their last 3, Panthers, Bears, Packers. That's saying 100% chance of making the playoffs based on this model. Obviously, there's so many things that are unpredictable, but if they win 5 of 8, that would put them at, 8 and 9?
I like how you're coming around to the thought that I've been bringing up the last 2 weeks here. I'm not worried about no 5 and 8. I'm still focused on 4 or 5. We're 2-2. We're going to Rutherford, New Jersey, to take on the New York Football Giants. That's all I'm worried about is getting a 3-3 to start.
We're on to New York, and we're only focused on New York. That's where you're
New
at.
York playoffs are the absolute pinnacle of what like the number one thing that can come out of the season. I mean, the Super Bowl is just out of the question. We know it is, unless they're destiny.
Yeah.
But do you want? I mean, would you rather just? I mean, I'm not going to tell them to intentionally lose games. Go win as many as you can. Absolutely.
They've got enough picks in the draft. That's not as much of a concern. They've got the Rams pick, and the Rams look like they may be in tank mode with Cooper Kupp out. I think I'm not as concerned about it as I would be. And if there was a quarterback or somebody game changing that I thought there was out there in the top 5, I would be a little bit more concerned about it. But I don't think that's the case right now, at least with the draft board the way it is now.
Speaking of the Rams, what do you think the Rams' best option is in their current situation? So, set the stage for you, right? Got the Rams, probably got Stafford coming off of a bye. I think they're 3-6, same record as the Lions here. They've had their bye as well, I believe.
Yes.
They've got an injured quarterback. Their best wide receiver is out for the next month. Line is just depleted for them. I think I saw them lose. They lost 2 more linemen for the rest of the season last week.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a number 1 draft pick.
So I think the simple answer, the easy answer is you got to fire Sean McVay. I'm kidding.
Hey, that will never happen.
No, I think it's tank mode for them.
But tank for what? They don't have a pick.
That's true. Yeah, that's a valid. I see why you brought this up now. They don't because the Lions have their pick.
I mean, what's the point?
I guess this is the backfiring of going out and getting guys for 1 year, 2 years, like going out and getting all those guys that they got, right? Like
I mean, they accomplished their goal.
They got the Super Bowl, but this is the backside of it, where now you don't have any picks because you traded all of them away to get these guys to win now, to go in win now mode. Yeah, I don't know.
They won, but what? Yeah, this is now after now.
I guess
so.
I guess you just try to end the season on a high note once you get Kupp back, and you just try to win a couple games, maybe play spoiler.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, that's everybody loves a heel. Not a bad role to play down the stretch. Mm-hmm. But yeah, interesting predicament the Rams have found themselves in.
Yeah, no, it's a bad spot. Like we said, 2 totally different spots. You know, the Lions on the rise to 3-6, the Rams on the fall to 3-6. Two teams with the same record on vastly different paths. It feels like. Yeah. So Mitch, we said, was at the game, right? So he sent me a text. Sent me a text Monday morning. He hit me with this. What do you think about moving Okudah to safety?
And doing what with Kirby? Kirby can't guard somebody one-on-one like Okudah can.
So probably not until the offseason. More so for next year. Feel like it would suit the way he's been playing this year. That's what he said. Okudah does kind of He looks like a safety, though. He looks like a safety.
He absolutely does. He's so much.
Yeah.
He's got so much more muscle on him than you'd think.
Well, and his tackling
But
ability.
exactly, and he's just so good one-on-one with defenders right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to take him out of that role and go with the
Yeah.
float role,
Yeah.
and ideally you just want him to guard the other team's best player, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and if you felt better about the Lions secondary, I think you could do it right away. But it's like, outside of Okudah, you've got guys in development, but there's not a lot of depth. So
Not complete faith
Okudah's
now. I mean, they got
Okudah's the guy right now.
yeah, he is the absolute anchor of that defense right now.
So yeah, I thought that was
especially the secondary.
It was a little brain.
It's a very
it was an eye-opening thing to think about.
little food for thought.
Food for thought. That's what I was looking for.
Gotcha, buddy.
Yeah, he said he went to the game, renounced his fandom when it was 24-10, started telling everyone that they don't deserve their fans. Followed up the message by replying and said, which is still true, to himself. And says he hasn't had anything positive to say, so he hasn't called in. And said even yesterday was trash. That's a win that feels good until film. Which I don't think that's 100% accurate, but I do think, like I said, like not a pretty game by any means for the Lions, but they win, and a win's a win, and they need to win these games that they're not at their absolute best or close to their best, right? Like, we know they can win some games when they put it all together, and they win these close games, but a lot of these games they just don't win when they should just win outright. And
I was gonna, yeah,
they just don't. Okay. They don't. Outside of games where they get the ball to bounce their way, they need to win some games that they face adversity in. That too.
Well, I mean, this team, I feel like, plays down to their opponent more than any team I've seen in the past.
Yeah.
So they don't
played the Eagles close.
Yeah, you don't go out to outright win a game, is what it seems like. Every game they're gonna have is just gonna be right down to the wire because they're just matching the other team's play. Really.
Yeah. Got an interesting one with the Giants, and they get blown out with by the Patriots. So it's been a lot of this.
Here's the real question from Mitch. Did he get pushed down any stairs or over the bleachers at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, that's good. There's a lot of that going on to Lions fans in the stadium. That's what was being reported on TikTok, that is.
Mm-hmm. Saw that. Yeah, that's bad sports town, Chicago. It's a dirty town.
Well, poor losers, poor sports.
Mm-hmm. All right.
At least they don't have quarterback controversy.
No, not at all. I don't even know who their backup is these days.
Blue Tent.
Blue Tent. The kicker that once played quarterback.
Yeah, Justin Fields is just like, they're gonna murder him on a field. He will not come out.
I think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
He's got an opportunity. I mean,
I have that written in my notes. I have that Justin Fields will be a Hall of Famer. From the day he was drafted, I wrote that down when the Lions didn't take him, and I also have that Mac Jones won't be in the NFL and for long, and will be in the booth broadcasting.
You keep saying that, Mac Jones to the booth.
Two of those things are hills that I will die on. They're saved in my notes.
I don't see him going to the booth.
Eventually. Anyway, let's move on.
I don't see him making it in the NFL, though. But
he could be a backup guy for lifetime kind of thing, too. I could see that. Anyway, as said, I was 7-7, Andrew 5-9. This week, Thursday Night Football, Titans versus Packers. Packers off of a win. Titans also off of a win.
Yeah, Titans at Packers. Another one in Lambeau. Gonna be cold outside.
At
Does
night.
Tractor Cito show up or no? That's the real question.
I think this is Tractor season. He's a late season guy.
All right, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm taking Titans over the Packers because the Packers had such a rough game against the Cowboys.
I've got to go Titans here because of what I've been saying the last week or so, and that I took the Packers last week over the Cowboys. Said they were going to get right. They were going to win the revenge game over Mike McCarthy, only to get their hopes up, feel like they've got a nice one under their belt with a win last week, and they're riding a little too high. They're right back to losing. Right back. Just when the media starts to turn around and say, hey, Aaron Rodgers got this figured out, reversion. Back to the losses they go. Titans. Give me the Titans.
Let's go.
Bears, other than NFC North team. Bears Falcons, first game of the day on Sunday.
Early game, early slate of games that is. Bears at
Yes.
Falcons. I think the Bears are a good team. They're on the road though in Atlanta. I'm going to take the home team on this one.
See, I think Justin Fields in indoor stadium. He's played a lot of games in this stadium from college. Mercedes-Benz Stadium or whatever it is and what is it? Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Home to a lot of college football matchups, college football playoff matchups. So I think this is some good mojo for him and the Bears. Justin Fields has a field day and gets the
Too
W.
easy.
Gets the W over the
Wow.
Falcons.
All right, the first head-to-head matchup for us starts at 1 p.m.
Yeah. Browns take on the Bills.
Brown down.
I feel bad for the Browns here because the Bills got to win this game. They're coming off of a close, heartbreaking loss to the Vikings, and then the loss before that to the Jets, and quickly falling down the slide of things at 6-3. You can't be 6-4 if you're the Bills. If you're talking about a Super Bowl contender here with an MVP candidate in Josh Allen, I like the Bills here. Sorry, Browns. Just sorry that you're the rebound team.
Absolutely with you. I'm in love with the Bills here. This feels like a ritual sacrifice as sorry we had to murder this one for the gods, and that one's the Browns. So sorry for your loss, buddy.
Sorry, Browns. We got to hand you a loss here. Speaking of hands, Deshaun Watson coming back soon, so remember that.
Yeah, he's coming back for sure.
He's coming back. Yeah.
It's coming on somebody's back.
He's doing a little target practice, eh?
Hey!
I'm talking about he's doing drills now. He's allowed to return to practice. He's throwing target practice.
He's in the facilities.
He's in hopefully the practice facilities and not the hotels.
Okay, still can't use the training room.
No, that's off limits.
Okay.
And of course, those who were with us from the early preseason, remember his first game back that he's eligible back versus his old team in the Houston Texans. So just storybook for the NFL. Way to go, Goodell.
It's coming.
Yes, sir, it is. And they said that the minute he's eligible to be back, that he's going to be the starter over Jacoby. So that means we're going to have a home reunion for Deshaun, which is going to be a wild one, and that's in, I think, 2 weeks. So mark your calendars for that one. Eagles versus the Colts. Eagles, off of the first loss of the year. I think they bounced back against Indy here, but Indy keeps it close.
Have we got reports on the roof?
I think it's closed. It's too cold this time of year.
You're right. In that case, give me the Eagles over the Colts. Bounce back as well. Another ritual sacrifice.
Yeah, the Colts lost Shaq Barrett as well on defense, so that's going to be a big anchor on D that they're going to miss. The Eagles got to take advantage of that, and they bounce back and get back into the win column. So, divisional matchup: Jets versus the Patriots. Side note on this one, Jets are off of a bye and off the big win versus the Bills before the bye. Jets lost to the Patriots in their last matchup earlier this season. I think they're going to go 50-50 on this one, so I think they're going to split their divisional matchup against the Patriots. So I'm going Jets, 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 Jets.
No shot in hell. I just don't buy it.
0?
Give me the Bill Belichick at home, man. Give me his home record. Somebody, God, send me in his home record. It's got to be just irresistibly delicious. Give me the Patriots over the Jets.
Didn't you call the Eagles by 2 scores last week? How'd that go?
Okay. Moving on. Next game. Do we have any more games this week?
Oh, we got plenty. We've got your New Orleans Saints versus the tanking Rams. This is I don't even know. Does either team want to win this matchup? Saints Rams?
Once again, they're playing with fun money over in LA. And if you want to win, put Jameis in. Jeez.
Yeah, Jameis has got to be the guy. Andy Dalton, sorry, buddy. You just move over. Somebody's got to take charge of this team. And I thought they would have gone back to Jameis before this week, but it sounds like they may actually go to Jameis this week. If the Saints take Jameis this week, if they go to Jameis, I'm going to go with the Saints.
They need to push back. The Bucks got 2 in a row. They're starting to build something, so the Saints need one.
I hate this matchup, though.
There's a lot of like weird matchups this week. I mean we talked about it.
Yeah. This is one of them. It's just Rams on the road. Rams probably the better team, but the Saints, I don't know. Both 3-win teams. Just an ugly matchup. I hate it. Panthers. Sorry, go ahead.
Bill Belichick's current home record with the Patriots: 259 and 103.
Yeah, respectable.
Not as good as I thought. Yeah, not as good as I thought.
Well, a lot of those were Brady years. I'm sure if you take Brady out of the equation, it's a lower ratio.
Yeah, his postseason's 30 and 12.
That's pretty good.
We don't have a playoff win.
What do you mean?
The Lions.
Oh, the Lions. Okay, the Lions franchise. Yes, I thought that was where you were alluding, but I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Bill Belichick's 30 and 12.
Yeah, home playoff games, not even all playoff
games. He's got 42 home playoff games. The Lions haven't won one.
Get this man an inhaler. What? Are you okay?
I'm baffled. That's my baffled noise.
I'm over it. I've wallowed in that enough times that it's over my head these days. Let's keep rolling. Panthers versus Ravens. Ravens rolling into town. Ravens get the dub here. And by Ravens rolling into town, I mean it's at home for the Ravens, but still give me the Ravens.
So I'm at a crossroads with the Ravens right now. I like the Ravens. I want to see the Ravens succeed. I think they're a good team, but I want Lamar Jackson on the Detroit Lions next year.
So
I feel like they need to do bad, and the Lions can buy low.
Yeah,
but he's also just needs to be paid. And the Lions are clearing a lot of cap space, and they have the ability to get him. So I almost just want the Ravens to just not do well, just because F them, you know? So, with the interim, give me the Panthers.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'll give you all the credit in the world if that's the case. I like it, though. I like where your head's at. Here's another opportunity for possible upset. Commanders versus Texans.
Where is the upset? These are two evenly matched teams.
Is it though? The Texans
have one win. If you told me the Texans and Commanders, honestly, if you sorry, one win was just funny, even though that was us for a while. We had 0 wins for a while last year. If you didn't tell me the Texans' record, I'd say they had 3 wins.
Yeah, no, they don't seem. I mean, one of them's a tie, so they're 1-7-1. So 1.5 wins, kind of, sort of. But yeah, I don't. I agree. I agree with that assessment. I almost want to go Texans here. Washington
you
off
wanna
a
I'll hold your
hangover.
hand if you want to do it.
Hangover loss.
I'll hold your hand
Here's
if you want
here's
to
my
do it.
one struggle. Here's my one struggle is it's looking like Chase Young, remember him, might be back for the Commanders. So
Hold my hand. Come on. Come with me.
Chase Young
Come with
scares
me.
me though a little bit because it's at that point he's gonna tee off if he's back in the lineups.
The Texans are at home.
Yeah, and they're actually only 3-point underdogs.
Come with me. Rule by my side.
Oh no, I can't do it. Give me the Texans.
Give me the Texans, baby!
Let's go. Houston, we have a victory. That's what we're gonna be. That's what we're gonna be manifesting this week. Texans are supposed to be my feisty team, so they've got to get a little bit more feist in them. The win's got to be coming. I've gone with them a couple different times. I went with them last week over the Giants, so I hate going here. Hate going them with here. I think the Commanders are got a hangover coming, and I hope it's this week.
Everything you just said.
Raiders versus Broncos, divisional matchup here as well. Matchup of the
Fun
misfit
matchup.
Coaches. Josh
Yes.
McDaniels,
Who?
hot seat for both, and Hackett and Nathaniel Hackett, two guys that don't have the fan base. That's for sure.
The race to get fired the fastest in their first year.
Pretty close. Broncos.
Oh, I'm going black hole.
Oh, I've gone with. I told you I can't. I've gone with the Raiders so many times. I just can't go for them anymore. I just can't.
They're
do it.
so addicting to pick. It's Derek Carr to Devontae Adams. It's just too easy.
On paper, it seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's in Mile High. It's in Broncos country.
It is. Ball's gonna go further. Devontae Adams might run a little faster.
This has the makings to just be a close, ugly game with just some wild instances. It's a late game. It's one of 3 of the late games. It's the only one at 3:05, so it's going to be an ISO'd game for 20 minutes until the 4:25 start.
4:05 Eastern Standard Time.
Correct. Red Zone's going to have a problem being with this game, the only one on at 4:05.
I don't know, man. It might be so bad it's good.
It could be. Could be like Maction. This is the Maction matchup of the week.
I feel like Maction's gotten to be like, and forgive me if I don't have this is a risky. This could get us canceled. I don't have the right terminology. Maction's become midget wrestling. They're going for the oddities.
It's what is it?
The gimmicky kind of stuff. There we go.
No.
That was a better word. So I apologize to all the. I don't know the right term, but I don't want to say that again.
Vertically challenged?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right to say either.
No, it sounds almost worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little bit that way.
Let's discuss this when we're not recording.
Let's circle back on this discussion. Tommy, make a mark here. Cowboys off of a loss. Vikings off of a game of the year of win. Team of destiny. I'm going to take the Vikings. I can't go against them now. They're team of destiny.
I gotta go against you. I gotta go Cowboys. They're on the road, but the Vikings just won one they shouldn't have. They won a couple they shouldn't have. The Cowboys still have fight in them. They're coming off a bad loss, but they gotta fight for the division. I think they take it.
What's crazy is they Minnesota at home here, and Minnesota's the underdog.
Especially coming off that win, that is wild to hear.
I guess they're calling for a hangover. I guess I think my head would say it's going to be a hangover, and that the Cowboys can steal one here. However, Team of Destiny, you can't go against Team of Destiny. Vikings.
Cowboys.
Fair enough. See you at the finish line, brother. Bengals, Steelers, another divisional matchup. Talked about it off air. Bengals got to have a win here almost. It feels like a must win. Bengals are 5-4. You go to 5-5, and you're gonna be playing heck to get in the playoffs comfortably. So I think you've got to win this one, and it's in none other than Acrisure.
Acrisure Stadium, baby. This almost feels like a must-win for the Steelers as well. They are like a feisty team. I mean, no surprise under Mike Tomlin, though. I'm going to go Bengals with you because it's a must-win. I think you said you were taking the Bengals, maybe.
I alluded to it.
Yep, it's a must-win for the Bengals for me as well. So I'm going to take them, but that's going to be a fun game to watch. It's always a fun game, Bengals-Steelers. Watch this game, folks.
Yes, it always is. And Jamar Chase is still out, right? He's on IR.
Yeah, hip issue.
Yeah, so that makes it a little tougher for the Bengals. Also, TJ Watt being back full at practice this week, fully involved. Came back last week, but fully involved this week, and now we'll have a full week under his belt back into the action. So 2 strikes for the Bengals, but I think they sneak one out here on the road and hold on to what could be a playoff season.
Yeah, once again, I can't say that this is going to be a must-watch game. I'm probably going to get this thrown back in my face now that I've said it, but I'm going to stick with my word. If you're going to watch one game this week, make it this one.
Yes, sir.
And the Lions.
Well, this one's in the conflicting spots on the 425s because you got Cowboys Vikings, which is what most of America will see that game. If we're talking regional coverage, because it's the Cowboys and it's probably the game of the week. It's probably the Romo Nance game of the week. So yep. most people are going to see that on their televisions unless you got Red Zone. Chiefs Chargers Sunday Night Football. Chargers, another team that needs a win here. You're 5-4, just like the Bengals. So Chargers need a win here. It's at home in SoFi. But I think the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, and it's a divisional matchup, of course. So I think this one's got the right makeup to be a good game. But I gotta go with the road team and the Chiefs here.
We've taken a lot of the same picks this week. I'm gonna take one again with you in the Chiefs. This is a game where both teams kind of need to prove their seasons here. So the Chiefs should win pretty handedly. We'll call it 2 touchdowns. They should win this game by 2 touchdowns. It's on the road. It's against a pretty, rough 5-4 Chargers. I wouldn't call them a 5-4 team, but they need to prove that they're worthy of 6-4 in the playoffs. So prove yourself game for both of them, but give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, agreed with everything you just said. The Chiefs have won a lot of games in the last couple weeks at home and some close ones. So opportunity for them to go on the road and put any naysayers that are out there to bed and quite possibly knock out your divisional foe in the the Los Angeles Chargers, and quite possibly knock them out of playoff contention completely with a win.
San Diego Superchargers.
Yes. Didn't know that was coming, but it's always fun to do that. 49ers versus the Cardinals on Monday night.
Another one. Another fun game this week. Another prove-it game for both teams. I almost want to give the Cardinals the nod because they're at home. Mm-hmm. But, you just won a very rough game. I hardly consider that a win. That win is worse than a tie. Jimmy G's been getting love from the cheerleaders. Looks like I saw him at the Golden State game getting some love from the ladies. And I think he's going to be riding high on that. Give me the 49ers.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I did see that clip. Him and the boys too. It was Kittle was next to him.
Yep.
Couple other guys. I don't know who they were. I can't remember from the clip. I know Kittle was right to his left, and then there were a couple other people involved.
I didn't see Debo.
No Debo. Definitely didn't see Debo. 49ers are favored by 8 points here, which seems like a lot.
That seems like too much.
Seems like a lot on the road. Well, not on the road. It's in Mexico City. I can't believe you said the Cardinals were at home.
Oh, shoot. Apologies.
I think technically the Cardinals are the home team, but yeah, they're Arizona, Mexico, they're kind of close. So I'm sure they've got some fans across the border. But yeah, the Mexico game of the week. And
this is fun. Fun football.
Fun football. Two teams in red uniforms. Also, red.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fun color matchup. As crazy.
The last time, sorry, let me allude to this. The last time D Hop was in Mexico City, he got hosed on a long touchdown pass that they called out of bounds on. Absolutely hosed on this call the last time he was in Mexico City. So I don't want to see that happen again.
I totally forgot that happened. Good on you to remember.
Lost a fantasy matchup because of it. I'll never forget.
That's why you remember. The cuts run deep, do they?
They do. Run for blood.
I hate going 49ers, but I'm going to go with them, even though they're favored by 8, which is bonkers. It's a big stretch you got going on there. 49ers.
I ate 2 oranges before I got on here, and I think I'm going to have liquid diarrhea.
We better hurry things up. Seems like perpetual prime time for the 49ers, though. Hasn't it been like 3 straight weeks they've been in prime time?
Yes. I mean, he's not that good. Jimmy G is not that good, but I guess.
Oh, man. One last thing before we wrap things up here in this game or in the NFL talks. Before we get to trivia, don't want to miss trivia. Don't change your headsets right now. But Kirk Herbstreit's going to have to make a... Oh, no, he's the Thursday night. I'm dumb. Let's forget. Tommy, cut that.
What's going on?
I don't know. I got Monday Night
Cut
Football.
the liquid diarrhea talk, too, Tommy.
No, that's 100% staying in. All right. If your bowels can handle it, you want to do some trivia?
Yeah. Hit me.
So
A, B, C, D.
So this was something we came up with off air just when we were talking about how 6 of 13 matchups or something like that this week are in indoor stadiums. So it got us to thinking, can we name, without looking them up, can we name all the outdoor stadiums that are in the NFL? So between our brains, I think we can do it. We don't know the numbers, so we're going to have to check ourselves when we eventually get to an endpoint here, but we'll try to go quick. So I don't know if you want to go. Do you want to go alphabetical here?
Let's just stick to division first.
Okay.
I mean, I figure go division by division, and we'll be able to figure this out.
Let's start with the
got
North.
2 in ours.
Start with the North, the one we know best. So the Bears, Packers. So
Yep.
Let's see if we can name the actual stadiums too. Soldier Field, Lambeau Field. Those are easy ones.
You're gonna have to save me.
Okay, I'll help you out there.
Names.
We're gonna tug a rope this thing all the way to victory. Okay, so NFC North. Let's go NFC South next. So Panthers Stadium, Bank of America Stadium. Got that. That's 3.
Panthers outside.
Yep. The Bucks are outside. That's what's the name of that stadium?
It's not Hard Rock. They're the Dolphins, but they're also outside.
Correct. You better not be looking it up on your phone right now.
No, I'm looking up the divisions.
Oh, okay. That's not cheating.
I can't. I really
okay, well,
suck at
I might remember. It used to be like something R Stadium. I don't know what it is anymore. Okay, so
it's probably Tom Brady Stadium at this point.
It might as well be TB12 Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 4. The Saints are indoors. The Falcons are indoors.
Falcons are Mercedes-Benz indoors.
Okay, so NFC East, we've got MetLife for the Giants. That's 5.
Yep.
That's 5 total so far. MetLife.
The Cowboys are 100% indoors.
Yep. The Commanders are outdoors at FedEx. Is it still FedEx Field? So it's 6. The
And
Eagles
not
are
even
also
in Washington, but whatever.
right. Landover, Maryland, or whatever it is.
Yep.
The Eagles are outdoor at it used to be Lincoln Financial. I don't know.
I have no idea on the name of this field.
I don't remember. It used to be Lincoln. I think it's still Lincoln Financial, but we'll check myself on that. Tommy, check us on that. So that's
All right, and
7
head
total
over to
so
the
far.
west. Yep, and head over to the west. Are the
Ram-
Rams considered indoors?
Yeah. It's a air flowing stadium or whatever they call it. It's a free.
Is it breezeway?
Yeah, it's basically a breezeway, one big breezeway. Cardinals are
Yeah.
indoors. 49ers are outdoors.
And
Levi
so are the
Stadium. Is it Levi
Seahawks.
Stadium?
I'm no help to you on
Pretty sure it's
stadiums.
Levi. It used to be Levi. It
just
used to be
A+.
Candlestick. Remember Candlestick?
I remember Candlestick.
Okay, Levi. Oh, it's 99% sure it's Levi. So that gives us we're at a total of 8 right now.
Then Seahawks.
Seahawks are outdoor.
Yep.
This one changed names. I don't remember the name of this one. It's like an electrical company or something. I don't remember. So that's 9. Counting them, 9. So then we've
AFC
got
North.
AFC North. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay, who could forget?
Acrisure Stadium.
Yeah, you know it.
Oh, sorry to cut you off.
You know it, brother. Acrisure, aka Heinz. That puts us at 10. Bengals are outdoor at it used to be Paul Brown Stadium. Now it's I feel like they just got a sponsor for this. I don't know if it's a
The
sponsor.
entire north-south side.
Bengals, Steelers, Ravens. Used to be
And Browns.
M&T Bank Stadium. I don't think it's that anymore. It's something else. And then the Browns. The Browns were Paul Brown Stadium. The Bengals are like I don't know. So they're all outside. So that's 13.
Buffalo, AFC East. Bills are outdoors.
Bills, can't remember the name of that. Barstool tried to buy it at one point and they got denied or something. And I think they're in between sponsors. I don't know what it is anymore.
Patriots outdoors.
Gillette.
Yep, that one's classic. Jets also outdoors.
And MetLife, yeah.
And the Dolphins at Hard Rock.
Hard Rock. That's 17. I'm losing track. It's 16 or 17.
Yeah, it was 13 last time. Yep, so another 4 would give us 17. So AFC North and East, all outdoors.
That's crazy.
AFC South. Texans?
No,
They gotta be outdoors.
No, it's indoor. It's in NRG Stadium's indoor.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
Watching Deshaun Watson run around looked outside.
Colts are indoor, even though they have a dome or a roof.
I don't know, man.
Lucas Oil.
Yep.
Lucas Oil.
Yep. There you go. Titans are outdoors,
Nissan Stadium.
and the Jags are outdoors.
TIA Field.
That doesn't sound right, but it could be.
Somebody is TIA Field. It might be. It's either the Seahawks or this guy, the Jags. We'll check myself
I
on
would
that
go
in a
with the
minute.
Jags on those two, and then heading over to the AFC West to finish it off. And the Broncos outdoors, Mile High.
Mile High. It's an electrical company.
Chiefs
Empower
outdoors.
Field. Empower Field. Got that one.
Wow, I would never get that. Chiefs outdoors at Arrowhead.
It's something at Arrowhead now. It's sponsored. It's
Oh my
got a really
God.
long ass name.
The advertisements are outrageous.
Chargers are indoor at SoFi.
Yep.
And
And then the Raiders are now playing
Indoor
inside
at Allegiant Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I counted 21. I think we got them all.
Wow. It's impressive. It's a lot. It's more outdoor stadiums than I would have thought.
Yeah. Outdoor stadiums. NFL.
It's probably going to say 20 because the Giants and Jets.
Current list of NFL stadiums. It's GEHA Field at Arrowhead. It's an electrical company. Empower Field at Mile High, got that one. Cleveland's is First Energy Stadium, didn't get that one. Bills is Highmark Stadium. Didn't get that one. Levi's Stadium, so I was correct. Lincoln Financial. Philly. I got that one. Lumen Field. That's an electrical company in Seattle. M&T Bank Stadium. Got that one. Nissan Stadium. Got that. NRG. Mercedes. Bengals is Paycor. That's like a brand new one, like as of a couple weeks. Raymond James. It's still Raymond James in Tampa. It is Raymond James. Wow. And Jacksonville. Guess what Jacksonville's is?
Was it what you said?
Oh, yeah, it's TIA Bank Field. Let's go. That's pretty good off the top of my head. I'm going to bookmark this episode. Yeah, for
stadium names, that's incredible.
Bookmarking this episode. This episode has gotten far too long. But let's talk about our matchup of the week. Lions take on the New York Football Giants in that stadium that's outdoors in New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. Right before we talk about this, we talked about this off air, but Brian Daboll, head coach of the Giants, recounts his interview with Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell was interviewed for the Miami coaching job at the time. It was an assistant role. Brian Daboll, a little bit of history lesson, was with the Jaguars organization at the time the Dolphins, excuse me. Daboll was with the Dolphins as the offensive coordinator under the head coach, that is Tony Soprano at the time. He interviewed in place of Tony, who had Daboll run the interview as the offensive coordinator. Said Dan was extremely intense, even to the point of slamming chairs and hitting walls. So just a fun story, a fun nugget that was found by CBS Sports. Talked about it off air, but the coaching trees, everybody kind of knows everybody. Crossed paths a lot of times.
A lot of times. A lot of people interweave and intermingle. And, I mean, would you expect any less of a story from Dan?
No.
I mean, I would not expect anything less. But, I mean, Daboll, go ahead.
Yeah, he's intense as it is right now as a 40-something-year-old or nearing 50-year-old coach, right? And so 11 years ago, I'm sure he was even crazier. Still in his 30s.
He's still doing up-downs.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like, doesn't come as a shock to me at all. Dude's a psycho, but he's our guy, and we're with him. We're with him until things really get crazy. So, whomst you got this week against the matchup of the Lions and the Giants?
Oh, the shareholders already know what Papa Burgundy's got marked on the calendar here. It's the Lions over the Jets. You can't go 4 of 5 without beating the Jets and going 3 of 3. Here we go now.
4 or 5, still alive. This one's tough. I think if the Lions can put up the points and if they can contain Daniel Jones and Saquon like they did at times with Justin Fields, I think the Lions can win this game on the road. Road Warriors, back-to-back road wins. That would give them 3 in a row, make them 4-6. However,
I mean, the secondary.
I'm probably going Giants here.
Huh?
Listen, I've taken the opposing team the last 2 weeks and they've won, so I think I've got to keep that going.
You know what? In that spirit, I'm with you. I'm with you on that spirit.
I think the Giants are a great team, 7-2. However, I don't think they're as good as their record implies, and they sneak out some wins, and they rely a lot on Daniel Jones and Saquon. So, emphasis on Detroit stopping the run this week.
Stopping the run and then forcing Daniel Jones to beat them with his arm.
Yes.
The secondary should have a field day. I said that I want to see at least one defensive turnover a game. I think the defense should have at least 2 picks in this game and possibly a fumble recovery.
Love that. And if that happens, I think it's a dub for the Lions easily.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants aren't a super scary team, like, by any means.
No, you can see their weaknesses just by watching the game. There's other teams where you look at it and you think, oh my God, they're like completely balanced all over the place. These guys don't seem that balanced. Their defense isn't that great. I mean, nothing really that special by any means. Daniel Jones is a serviceable quarterback. He's okay. I mean, I almost put him in the Goff category, but I'd say Goff's a little taller, probably, is my guess. Skinnier, taller, and that's
Yeah.
the only reason I would take Goff over Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Just looking through some stats here. Giants 20 points per game, not a ton of points per game, and so I don't know. If the Lions defense can continue this trend in the right direction, if they can get to Daniel Jones like they did Justin Fields, if they can not let these guys take over the time of possession, Lions got to win the time of possession. They got to win the turnover battle, and offense has to continue to put up points. And that's spin that all together, and it's a recipe for a Lions victory.
Marching down the field.
Forward down the field.
That was what I was gonna say.
Down the field and something. Yeah, we tried doing this once before.
I don't know.
There's a reason we didn't do it. Do you have anything else to say about this game?
I don't. I just hope for a Lions victory and defensive turnovers. I also want to start seeing them score on their first drive. Just put points on their board and your first offensive possession. I mean, it just sets the tone for the game.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen Goff throw an interception or have the Lions have a 3-and-out? They had a 3-and-out last week, right out of halftime. Third quarter, first possession's got to be good too. I'd like to see that.
Yes, I mean, that is this. I mean, you set the tone of the second half of the game. You couldn't be more right.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. It really does.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, let's close it out with college football. Only 2 matchups between ranked teams this week: Oregon versus Utah and USC versus UCLA. So West Coast heavy this week, and those games are both late, being that they're on the West Coast. So going to be a late night Saturday night football action. That's just on paper. Surely there's going to be some good matchups, some good football. There always is. Michigan's got Illinois in an early game, and TCU's got Baylor. Alabama plays Austin Peay, classic garbage game. And Georgia plays Kentucky. And so there'll be some games. Penn State, Rutgers, Ohio State, Maryland. There's some other games out there, but as far as on paper goes, just a lighter week for college football as we approach Thanksgiving. I've got nothing else to say other than thank you to all the shareholders out there. Continue to spread the word. We love joining you each and every week, so we appreciate the support. Tell somebody you love them out there. Until next time, we'll see you all on Sunday. Giants versus Lions in New Jersey.
1 p.m.
Let's go 1 p.m. Road Warriors. Let's go Lions.
Meow.